Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here for you with my annual kind of top 5 series. Today, we're going to break down 5 of my personal favorite family camp and bunkhouse travel trailers. Now, most of these aren't going to be big. If you're looking for big, giant, triple slide, gonna sleep a ton of people, that's probably not what you're gonna see today. And it's cool if that's what you're looking for. I'm not saying that you're looking for something silly, but that's not what I'm looking for. These would be the kind of things that if I were going to get a bunkhouse camper for my family of 3 today, because we were a one and done household and I got a little dog that's an anxiety case and he barks all the time so we can't bring him with us. You know, I don't need a big giant monster trailer or anything like that, and I prefer small for a lot of the towability, affordability, just ease of parking it even elements. So we're gonna go through some stuff today. I'm gonna show you some quick flyby, about 2.5 minute tours. I'm gonna chatter mark it. Yeah, why not? We'll do that. Chapter mark the video so that you can bounce back to whatever you would like. And in the video description, I will leave you links if you want to see the full videos or you want to check pricing and availability on any of these. It'll all be right there for you at your discretion. You don't need to call a salesperson. You don't need to give us your social security number and your grandmother's blood type to get a figure on one of these things. First up is what I'm going to kind of call a floor plan family here, where what I mean by that is sometimes multiple manufacturers make basically the same layout, each with their own little twist. Kind of like you go to Walmart and there's like 8 types of vanilla ice cream, and sometimes you like Blue Bunny and sometimes you like Breyers. That's why they're all out there. And none of them are the wrong answer. But this floor plan family actually began with the Jayco J-Feather, and then they quit making it, and then the Rockwood 2509S became the gold standard in it. And then recently here, J-Feather came back out with it. But Surveyor, Freedom Express, a bunch of brands build something like this, and it is a very popular camper. The irony here is it is something that I prefer, but there's no way my wife would go for it. Hello everybody, welcome to Bish's RV. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, down here at Jayco today, getting my first look at, I don't know if I want to call it a new floor plan, because this is a model that Jayco actually was basically the first one to create, and what's weird is they stopped building it for a while and tried to build different versions of it, and finally just went, why did we fix what wasn't broken? Let's just start cranking that awesome old floor plan that we had back out there, and that's what we have today, the 21 MBH. In today's market, a lot of people are going to look at this and saying, oh, they're actually just copying the 2509 Rockwood. Quite the other way around. Jayco made the floor plan first, and then, like I said, they quit for some reason, and I'm glad to see it back because I think every other attempt they had at a Murphy bed bunkhouse, while neat, was not as good as this. And I have all the different versions that they tried on the channel. If you look back, the most recent was the 25 MBH, which was cool, but this thing is significantly smaller, lighter, less expensive without really giving up a whole lot of anything, and that's what's so good about it. It brings us some really good awning space for the size of RV it's on, double Asdale walls, which is great. Where it's not an aluminum structure, they're using things like a plywood roof deck and Magnum Truss roof system for the heaviest like snow load and walk-on roof rating of anybody else in this class. Heated underbelly, the double bunks with the easy drop hideaway ladder and the fold-up cargo bunk system. An interesting new twist on, it's not even so much a outside camp kitchen, so much as it is sort of like a little convenience and maybe cooking station, and a couple other things. There's a lot of stuff I really like about this. You know, carpetless, ventless flooring, easy cleaning, pet-friendly in that regard. It is a short queen bed, and it is a bendy bed, and I don't exactly love those things. And also, the way they had to work this one out, it doesn't actually have a full pass-through. But that's the kind of info I want to give you. I want to tell you what it does and what it doesn't do, so you can decide if it's the right one for your hard-earned money or not. And if you appreciate that, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. Next up's a new floor plan I saw from Grand Design Imagine. When you start looking at bunkhouses under 30 feet with slides with private bedrooms, there's not always a lot of options out there, and most of the time you got to do this. You got to do that 90-degree neck wrecker action to be able to watch TV. Although when I go like this, I look like I'm pretending to be Abe Lincoln on a penny. But Grand Design just came out with this thing called a 25 DBE, and I think it kind of fixes the entertainment system. Now the trick is, when you only have so much space to play with, by enhancing one feature, you've taken away from another. So it's always a little bit of exchange. But we don't do a ton of campsite cooking, so the reduced kitchen in this one, don't confront me none.
everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV here with a new floor plan that might be a little bit of the cure for the common family bunkhouse right here. This new Grand Design Imagine comes in 6,200 pounds basically on the nose. It's just under 30 feet, so it's great for like state and national parks. But it gives us good travel access. We have a private true queen bedroom. We have double over double bunks. But we also have a good living room setup and some campsite window coverage that normally in that size with things like bunks, you don't tend to find. They found a way to kind of reposition everything and shell game it around in a way that I've never seen exactly configured, and it has all the same pieces as a lot of other like super slide bunkhouses, but just in a very different arrangement, and it solves through those problems that a lot of people wish, you know, like why can't a manufacturer do this or that? Well, they can. Now, in doing so, it does have limited countertop prep space, so you know, it's not like it's a flawless floor plan that solves every issue that's ever existed before, but for under 30 feet, what you're getting with a nice big wide open living area, very social seating engagement, good cross breeze window coverage, awesome awning space. They've done some very cool things here. They have a giant mega griddle in this I don't know that I necessarily want to call it like a full-on camp kitchen. It doesn't have a sink, whatever the case may be. You got your outside mini fridge and a giant griddle back there. You still have a battery tending solar package on top that could be expanded a little bit because they've improved their charge controller from when they first started doing that. The underbelly's enclosed, forced air heated, all the radiant barrier stuff to give you that awesome extended season capability. Goodyear tires, prepped for TPMS, and a host of other things, including this crazy new Ahsoka Tano lightsaber, like, sci-fi Blade Runner space light system that they have going on the roof of this thing that, I don't know, I think it just looks very cool. You're finding it through a lot of their different series. Overall, I think it's a fun floor plan. It's something I could personally see me and my family using and having a good time. It gives you good rainy day function that a lot of bunkhouses typically just don't.
But if you watch my stuff, you know that I give points for originality, and I don't know, maybe it's my toxic personality trait. I just like it when my stuff is not the same as everybody else's. It's probably a thing that a lot of us feel, that we don't want to have the same as everybody else or whatever. But regardless, that's just a little peek into my neuroses over here. Rockwood this year came out with this thing with 3 slides under 30 feet long. And what I like about it is that I think by default you look at it and you definitely read bunkhouse first. But if you take a second look at it, the bunk room is potentially just an extension of the living room. It could be an office. It could be a rainy day sanity space. It still has a private front bedroom. It is a really crafty, creative design. And again, if I have one knock against it, I don't think it has the best kitchen, but my family personally, that's not a major problem for us.
This is brilliant, and I don't know that I've ever seen anything else quite like it. Hello everybody, Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV here with a floor plan that just flat shocks me, especially from who it came from. Rockwood is an old dog who is apparently learning new tricks. This is one of the most crafty, creative floor plans I've ever seen, and here's the kicker. It is a triple slide camper under 30 feet. That is shockingly uncommon out there. But the brilliant part about this one's layout, this is an amazing couples camper because it has a sofa and a dinette and some really good kitchen prep space, direct facing entertainment center, private bedroom. But it's also a really good family camper with a private bunk room and private bedroom, obviously, again, for mom and dad. But being a Rockwood, or the Flagstaff equivalent, because they're exactly the same thing, you've got things like a big power awning, Goodyear tires, a better suspension for road use, tire pressure monitoring, tank heaters, enclosed belly, double composite walls, meaning composites on both sides of the sidewalls, 6-sided aluminum cage construction, factory standard 200 watts of solar that you can expand on, and a new 1800 watt inverter, again standard on these things. They are cranking out some of the craziest, most crafty, creative things I've ever seen, and frankly, I love this because if you've got a family now, but the kids are gonna grow up and move out of the house, you don't have to go get a new camper. This could be your second camper the first time because it can grow and change with you. It would not take a whole lot to convert that rear room into an office. I could absolutely see that happening. And I'm sorry, I'm like borderline shouting because I haven't seen crazy fun original stuff like this in so long. This is neat, original, so cool and fun, right?
And I want to throw an honorable mention out there to the FSX division of Salem and Wildwood for their new VC, Versa Cargo series, specifically the 262 VC model. It's one that I really like. The reason it doesn't officially make this list is because it's 6 inches too long. It's 30 foot, 6 inches, tip to tail, tongue to bumper. But it's going to look like those toy haulers in the back, because it's kind of a toy. It's the ultimate crossover camper. You know, you could use it like a small toy hauler, but it could be cargo like e-bikes, kayaks, stuff like that. It has bunk capacity, it has couples capacity, and like that Rockwood, it's one of those where maybe as the kids grow up and move on and move out, or if I don't necessarily need specifically a bunkhouse, it can be repurposed. And that's ironically exactly why I include the 24 View from Salem and Wildwood also in this list, because of the unique design where they have a hidden room built into a bunk that isn't overtly obvious. One, it just brings out the Indiana Jones kid in me like a little boy on Christmas Day. Secondly, if my daughter's not camping with us, or if she doesn't want to bring Fred or whatever, we can repurpose that space into a lot of different ways.
What if you had like a bunk room or an office that was literally hidden? Welcome everybody to Bish's RV. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, and behind us is the smallest of the new View series from Salem and Wildwood. Two names for basically the same RV. This one right here is their smallest and lightest and most easily towable. It's in the Salem Cruise Light or Wildwood X-Lite series. It's just under 30 feet tip to tail. It should fall within the weight categories of a lot of half-ton towability, and this can work for families, it can work for couples, it could work for solo camping. You could use it as an office, a craft room. You could use it for just about anything. You could smuggle some contraband in this thing, I do suppose, depending on what you want to do with it. Because hidden behind the entertainment center, built into a slide that you may not even realize is there, is a hidden room. By default, it'll be set up with a couple bunks, and today we are looking at the very first run prototype of this. It will be changing and tweaking a little bit. They're going to do some work on it to allow just the bunks to also either flip open to like storage or like a little office or craft room or all kinds of different little things. This is carpetless, it is easy cleaning, it is very pet friendly. There's so many fun different cool things you could do with it. Not to mention the whole point of the View series, the way it kind of began, is they wanted to give people what people have been asking for ages. Windows on the camping side of the RV instead of the poop side of the RV that only looks at the neighbors, which is poopy. But not only did they do that, they created something with more square foot of window coverage than almost anything else has ever been, even up in the bedroom, but also with like 17 linear feet of kitchen countertop space. More countertop and prep space and function space than frankly some big fifth wheels even have. I mean, the underbelly's enclosed, they got the better stabilizers, they are just really, really pushing the envelope here. From what you would often refer to as just a stick and tin brand, they're becoming one of the most innovative and creative things out there. Now, we need your feedback on this video. Where did they nail it? Where did they fail it? What do you love? What could you live without? What would you change given the opportunity? And if you like how we get down here away from the office, actually down at Forest River to get you the footage so that you can help shape the way things work out, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like our video. Let's get going, and I can't wait to hear what you think about this one. But despite all these big fancy slide out, all kinds of crazy bunkhouse jobs, I've spent the vast majority of my adult life camping in what is often referred to as a 26BH kind of model, a 26-foot no slide bunkhouse. And tip to tail, tongue to bumper, those things often come in just under 30 feet, which I think is a nice mark. And you know, if it was more than just 3 of us, and if we went for more than 3 or 4 days at a time, it would start to get awful tight and stir crazy in there. I've already ripped out half of my hair, as you can tell, even as it is. But the fact is, pound for pound, dollar for dollar, they get the job done. If you're looking for all thriller, no filler, function over fashion, it is a hard way to, it's hard way to go. No, it's a hard one to beat. Couldn't decide what I wanted to say. So what came out was, well, my normal nonsense. 2 years running now, I'm naming this what I think is the best first-timer starter camper out there on the market today. That's a pretty bold statement. Let's see how she stacks up. Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd of Bish's RV here with some updates on the 26BH Go Play. And if I was going to get just a simple, straightforward, basic family camper for my family today, no joke, this is the one I would go with here. I'm not going to call it perfect or flawless, but I personally feel this is the best executed version of this floor plan I've ever seen. And thanks to your input, I think it's gotten a little better. But I want you to keep that input coming because I think we could make it a little bit better still. So this thing is just under 30 foot tip to tail. It barely weighs 4,900 pounds empty. It's less than, I think, 6,000 pounds fully loaded. So yeah, you know, you don't even need a real heavy duty, even kind of half ton to haul one of these things around. Now technically those capacities might be within the specs of, say, like a tow package Ford Ranger. I don't recommend a mid-size pickup. I still would recommend a full-size pickup for something like this, just due to the full body size of it and shove a little vehicle around. But we have really good patio awning coverage on this. We are carpetless and ventless, very pet friendly and easy cleaning in the flooring. We're taller inside also, and that means, you know, more headroom, not just for walking around, but it allows a person like me who's a little over 6 foot to stand in the shower. It makes more room for the bunks. It means taller cabinets. But one of the other things that's really good on this is not just the campsite window coverage and like the impressive balance of storage and sleeping capacity that you have in a simple, easy, no-slide camper. It's a full-on privacy wall for the front bedroom. Most, not all, but most builders of this thing, to make the RV look and feel bigger, so it doesn't feel so small and cramped inside, they will just have the open air or maybe a curtain, if you're lucky, at the end of the bed. This one actually has a full-on wall with a sliding door, and I like how they dressed it up with a mirror, because when you're in the living room, the mirror gives you the perception of more depth and more space, and helps kind of compensate for the fact that it does have an enclosed wall. Overall, I am pretty darn happy with the thing. And I've got a couple points of critique and concern to go through. I'd like to hear from you as we go. Also, where you think this one shines and maybe where it falls a little short.
And it occurs to me just now, my list of 5 has 6 on it, but it's not the first time I've done that. So whatever, we're just gonna keep on rolling. Today's top 6. I just don't have that many fingers on one hand. Anyway, I've been calling Ember RVs since literally day one. I think I have the video of the very first Ember RV ever on the internet. And they're cool, they're fun, but until recently, they never really made an RV for me. Like, I don't do the overland off-roading stuff, I don't do the non-stop on-the-road touring stuff, but they recently came out with their new E-Series. And that is one of the first times Ember started to make a model that really speaks to me, and that 22 ETS that they made, for me, checks major boxes. Now, if you've noticed the trend here, I tend to like RVs that are under 30 feet that can be multifunctional, and I don't think anything is going to be much more multifunctional than that 22 ETS Ember. It has that missile bunk, or a rearrangeable system. Again, if my kid moves out, I can convert that from a bunkhouse into a couple's camper, which is something I don't think a lot of people really consider, and I wouldn't have had I not lived in this business for so long. I always try to find things that will future-proof my RV to help me find my second one the first time around, and this does that better than almost anything I've ever seen.
So Ember just dropped a brand new series here, and it's really built for people like me. I've always really liked Ember RVs, but they never really made an RV for someone like me who wants some of those nicer things but still camps a little bit more casually. This is a really fun mix of fashion and function, all kind of mixed together. Stay tuned. I think you're gonna like what you see here. Welcome everybody to Bish's RV. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, and behind us is the all-new Ember E-Series. And this was always kind of part of the plan. You know, Ember came out with some crazy fun overland RVs originally, then some touring RVs, and their goal was to do these more exceptional things first, but eventually their goal was always also to move into something that was a little bit more of an everybody kind of class right here, you know? Because like I said, I've always really liked what Ember does, but really, they've never built an RV exactly kind of for me. Like, I'm a person that I work most of the time. I don't get a chance to camp a lot, and I want some of those nice features, but I don't necessarily, like, I don't need this crazy off-road suspension. I park camp. I don't need insane solar packages. So they kind of built something around that concept, and they could have built the same boring floor plans that everybody else did, but they took all these, like, very popular mainstream camping concepts, and they still found a way to twist them around. Like, you might notice this still has their MSL bunk system where it can be 2 single bunks, it could be 2 double bunks, it could be a desk, it could be cargo. This doesn't have to be a bunkhouse. This could be a couple's model. That's what's really cool about it. It can really flex function in a number of different ways. You still have their composite wall structure. The roof is just like the touring edition on this. The underbelly's still enclosed, still has 12-volt holding tank heaters. Like, those big Ember features that you've kind of come to expect for them, they are here. Now, what they did here is, because this is made probably for someone who's going to go mostly in, parks and mostly go down normal highways, it just doesn't have the insano suspension system and stuff like that. It doesn't have the European windows. Things like that, you remove those and you can peel a ton of money out of an RV and still have something here that is, I think, generally speaking, going to be very half-ton towable, very functional, very fun. We still have true queen beds. We have smart outlet placement or taller ceilings. I am jazzed about all the stuff that they have packed into this, but bringing it down a significant chunk on the price point to be far more accessible for people like me that still mostly work for a living. But if you're paying attention to the background here, man, there's a whole world of things. These are just a handful that really speak to me. This is just a handful that I could see myself and my family really enjoying. Maybe you need more room. Maybe you're like, nope, I absolutely need to have a private bunk room. No sweat. I totally get it. I respect that. I would be kind of curious, what is your, target hit #1 you think best in class bunkhouse family camper out there? And it doesn't necessarily have to be under 30 feet. That's just where I tend to personally target. Maybe there's something I need to get on camera and showcase for some other people. Maybe there's something I'm missing or hadn't considered. I've never claimed to be an authority who gets everything right. I definitely don't get everything right, but this is how I see it. Again, links in the video description for the full video tours. Like, if you're like, I didn't get to see enough, these are too fast, no sweat. I've got like 20, 30-minute versions of these videos for you. And our website at any point has the pricing on the RVs that we have in stock on a per trailer basis, so you can get real figures anytime you are ready without needing to pick up the phone. So until next time, thanks again for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.